So how do they attack? Well, they try to crash the stock market. They already tried last Monday with that DeepSeek. That was all coordinated. That wasn't made in some garage. That was communist Chinese government allied with the globalists. It's all come out now. To try to hurt Trump, saying, bring your tech investment here. It's economic war. And now, Larry Fink and all the big boys are betting against the U.S. economy and the stock market. And you've had Jamie Dimon, who acts like he's pro-Trump a little bit on the surface, but he's not. And Warren Buffett and all of them pulling out record amounts of money, not just now with Trump's tariffs, but over the last year, and all of them, Bezos and Zuckerberg, because they were planning a crash once Kamala got in to consolidate power and control and bring in their new central bank digital currency. Trump got in to try to block it and turn the energy and the economy back on. So it's not that you're going to get a crash because of Trump. These same bad guys were already planning it. But I mentioned the egg attack from the press conference. And notice how we have a press secretary that's actually informed how she annihilates them in just a minute and 35 seconds. Here it is.
Christian Day Talk.
Thanks, Caroline. Just real quick, you mentioned the inflation executive order the president signed, but egg prices have skyrocketed since President Trump took office. So what specifically is he doing to lower those costs for Americans?
Really glad you brought this up, because there is a lot of reporting out there that is putting the onus on this White House for the increased cost of eggs. I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office, or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country. We also have seen the cost of everything, not just eggs. Bacon, groceries, gasoline have increased because of the inflationary policies of the last administration. As far as the egg shortage, what's also contributing to that is that the Biden administration and the Department of Agriculture directed the mass killing of more than 100 million chickens, which has led to a lack of chicken supply in this country, therefore a lack of egg supply, which is leading to the shortage. So I will leave you with this point. This is an example of why it's so incredibly important that the Senate moves swiftly to confirm all of President Trump's nominees, including his nominee for the United States Department of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, who is already speaking with Kevin Hassett, who's leading the economic team here at the White House, on how we can address the egg shortage in this country. As for costs, I laid out the plethora of ways that President Trump has addressed saving costs for the American people over the past week. He looks forward to continuing to doing that in the days ahead. Thank you guys so much. Are Medicaid portals down in all 50?
All right, so I'm not that smart. People continue to say, how the hell does Jones know things years ahead of time? The globalist war game, they think tank, they talk about their plans. It's come out in the new DOGE releases of USAID and these other out-of-control agencies with trillions a year to the globalist corporations and to their operatives and to themselves, talking about fomenting riots anywhere in the world where somebody doesn't do what they want and overthrow of governments, including ours. That's coming up next hour. And so John Podesta said again in the fall of 2020, before the election, in a big war game the Democrats had, and the New York Times reported on it, that they were going to have blue states secede, create a civil war of Trump won, calling it a race war. Now, obviously, they're going to need to kill a bunch of brown people and blame Trump. Well, they came back again and said, if he wins this time, we're going to do it again. And then I said, you'll have the illegal aliens protesting with the Democrats en masse. You've got governors and mayors saying, stand up, fight back. You've got Pritzker up in Illinois, signed a law just last week to change the name and give new identities to illegal aliens, including felons. You got the governor in New Jersey just came out and said, you know, we're going to house these people. We're going to protect them. We're going to all this crap. That's a rebellion against federal law. That's illegal. That's aiding and abetting. That's organized crime. That's obstruction of justice. And so they're going to try to crash the stock market. They're going to try to frame Trump. Then the truck bomb, mass shooting of the illegal aliens protesting that are now, as I said in the last few weeks, it's going to get more and more violent, more and more intense as the NGOs give them the orders and the Soros radio stations tell them to go out and be violent. That's confirmed. He bought all the key Spanish-speaking ones so they can hype everybody up. Here's where ICE is. Go get them. Block this highway. Do that. And then when the military goes out, well, Trump's a dictator. And then the deep state sends professional teams to kill Trump. And Trump understands that and knows that, and they're ready, and we're way ahead of the enemy now. We're not naive now. All right? I certainly haven't been for a long time, but the point is, my understanding, which is a realist understanding, studying the enemy, is now accepted as just common knowledge. Well, when people think like I do, the good guys, it's game over. But we still have to keep getting this out and say to Larry Fink and all the rest of them, hey, you try to crash all this and blame Trump and populism, it's not going to work. And, oh, if somebody truck bombs or shoots up these migrants, we're not stupid. We know you did it. So everything is proceeding just exactly as they pre-programmed it. And that's a real weak spot for them. It's more than a weak spot. It is legless, spineless, and understanding of this is key. And that means on every issue, they blame Trump for the eggs, point out they did it. They block his policies that'll lower the price of eggs massively, point out they blocked it. They're the obstructionists. They're the saboteurs. They're the ones doing all of this. I'm going to come back, get to all the illegal aliens burning and attacking.